Can I pass it over to Vikrant? Yeah. Not the last or the least.
Yes. Thank you, Kenny. And I think I'm not last, I'm not the least. And I think I can, I'll say loud so you guys can hear me out. Arif, can you hear me? Can I hear you? Okay. So, yeah. So, what I'm going to show you is the information. So, what up till now my colleague panelists have showed about, the panel members talked about what they are doing as a bookseller. So, my Thailand colleague said about what he's doing in his store. What I'm going to show you is collectively what bookstores are doing in the given markets and how preferences are being given when they stock the books in their bookstore. So consumer, what they want to read, like the people are walking around and buying the books in the book fair, what they read and what the choices are they make. I won't go in detail, but I'll just say Nielsen is a global market research company. The strength that we hold is 90 years in the business, and we are present in over 100 markets. We keep innovating our products and services. So like in publishing, we are moving to the direction of digital audio. Our job is to keep innovating and keep tracking those numbers so that it values by the industry and they can use the informative decisions on that. I'll skip this slide, I'll just move. So what we do it in the BookScan is we track the consumer sales. So when customer walks into the bookstore, we track those sales and curate a data which has been useful for the bookseller and also the industry and the publisher and the entire thing who are associated with the supply chain. So if you look at this information, if you look at, I'm just showing a few markets on the slide, how the market is performed from 2022 to 21. So you see that the market like Australia grew by over 8% and the market like India dipped by 6%. And we can always dissect why the market could not do well from the previous year and why they have grown up. So you have the data, you have the information, and you can do a deep dive into it. But what I want to show you is more information about what people read. So if you compare from market to market, if you look at the UK market, the audience or the reader reads fiction, non-fiction and children. But when you see it in Australia and New Zealand, it's more skewed towards the children market. When you look at the India or Brazil market, it's more non-fiction driven market. And I'll come to non-fiction more in deeper when I go to the next slide. If you look at the bestseller chart, my colleague Thailand talked about the bestseller. The bestseller is so critical and important because publisher works hard and the bookseller works hard so much on creating the bestseller by improving the sale, enhancing the sales. So what we did was that we analyzed the bestseller charts and saw that what consumers are reading. So if you look at the green color or the red color shows the fiction market. So if you go to the European market, it's largely fiction. Here's the bestseller chart. But when you go to the developing market like India, Mexico, you see the lot of non-fiction, which is like a self-help kind of books, are selling more and hitting the bestseller chart. These are the examples I'm going to give you is what people are reading in the fiction. So if you look at fiction, there are a lot of similarities are there. Out of 11 markets, 5 books are hitting in a common ground. So it ends with from Colin Hoover, hits the chart in the 5 markets. Well, if you look at the non-fiction, it's very different from each other market, except India and South Africa, where you have Atomic Habits. But other than that, the reading habit in the non-fiction is very different from each other. While children, again, is a Jerome Silton, Jeff Kinney, and all those kind of books are being read widely across the nations. If you look at the export and import, the people read the same book by the conversion of the languages. You see the books which are like a crime and thriller. Italy produced and consumed 61%, but at the same time, Spain also used the same content and make the 34% sale. Something similar in romance, something similar if you look at India, the local authors makes 100% within the market. But these author also sells the book very well in the UK market by translations. The author produce beautiful books, and the books are not being only read in their own market, but their books are being read across the nation. So Japanese book from Mukarami, they've been read very well in the UK and Italy. If you look at the Italy, produced 234,000 books alone being sold in the UK market. If you look at the Joe Mesco, the Norwegian author, he's also selling the books across the nation. So it does mean that the books has borderless. So it can sell not originating from the market, but also sells globally. It depends on the bookseller and also publisher and author how they want to sell it in those different markets. As my colleague said about the graphic novels. Graphic novels have doubled the figure from 2019. Italy, UK, Australia, Spain makes over 90%. Italy is always top on the chart. I mean, the books that you're seeing is all manga, and UK alone, half of these graphic novels in UK were bought under the age of 25. And the adoption is much higher than the fiction. It means the book which are being transferred or the content being absorbed by the films and movies, those are the ones which is picking up more in the UK market compared to the fiction. So kids learns what to read is from the movie and televisions. These are the children authors I'm showing out here very quickly. Julia sells equivalent to same thing which J.L. Rowling selling across the globe. So they're equivalent to the UK sales. And some of the authors that you're looking at are only specific to those markets. But the authors are also all over the world in the children's side. The children is a beautiful author which sells across the globe. Sorry, I'm going a little fast. Non-fiction, if you look at the blue color, it says again non-fiction, which is, if you look at India, 23%, 80% is all come from self-help. While if you look at the other part of the UK and green color, which is like biographies and autobiographies. So fiction is very diversified, while non-fiction is very diversified, and fiction is very much focused in particular authors. These are some of the examples that I want to show you, because there's a lot of buzz about and talk about audio versus digital books. So you can look at the subscription-based model is growing among the ebooks and the audiobooks. While if you look at the paper versus the digital content, UK talks about 15% still is digital, rest is 85%. So print is not going anywhere. I mean, print going to stay, so are booksellers. So I think what I want to say is that data is the oil for any industry, and I think it has to be used more importantly so that your marketing budget are being carefully drawn. And also we understand that the publishers are impacted by the growing paper prices or the printer prices, author royalty, and I think their margins are shrinking. That is why it is important how effectively we can improve our cost, and that is what the data does. It gives you the informed decision, not the blank eye decisions. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vikrant. That was really enlightening.